This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia. Listen to my radio show, A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on Houston's gospel leader, KWWJ. 1360 AM and streaming live on KWWJ.org. Listen on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. KCOH 1230 AM, The Source. On Sangeet Radio 95.1 FM 1460 AM. And Aliento Radio 101.7 FM and 1540 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then. Stay with me, Houston. This is Gilbert Garcia, A Tip from Gilbert, Talk, Inspiration, and Prayer. I just want to hear a little bit of this song called Alive Again. When I think about your goodness, my heart is overcome. How could I begin to thank you for everything you've done? It's an amazing song by a Christian group called the Planet Shakers. You make me come alive again. It's unbelievable. This is the moment. Everything changes. You are my breakthrough. I praise you. I praise you. There you have it, Houston. You're with me, Gilbert Garcia. Talk, inspiration, a tip from Gilbert. Of course, we're all over Houston. We're all over the radio. You turn anywhere. Thank you, studio audience. You turn anywhere on the dial, you're going to hear us. KWWJ, 1360 AM, 96.9 FM. KYOK, of course, that's Keep Walking with Jesus. KYOK, 1140 AM, the historical KYOK. KCOH, the Source. And that's 1230 AM, Aliento Radio, 1540 AM, 1017 FM, Sangeet Radio, 95.1 FM, 1460 AM. And you got it here on Facebook, Spotify. Like me, all those things. Just do it. Well, I have a very interesting guest, Miss Earker Coleman. Miss Earker, welcome to A Tip from Gilbert, Talk, Inspiration, Prayer.
Thank you so much.
And you know what I love about you, because your name is spelled differently.
Well, my name is not Erica.
It's
Earker, just like it's spelled.
It is Earker. You know what I was going to say, because I always say, I hear it, and it's like Erica, but it's Earker.
Uh-huh. I answer to Erica. It just keeps my life simple.
What's the name? What's the origin of that? And come a little. Let's move the mic closer to you. Yeah. What's the origin of Earker?
It is a Greek last name.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And does it mean like
I have
goddess or strength or?
We're gonna go with all of that.
Oh, yeah. That's because you are all of that.
We're gonna go with all of that.
I want to have you on the show because I think it's amazing. First of all, I read about you and everything, and I want you to talk all about your magazine, your group, and everything else.
Okay.
But you are the head of the citywide Hairstylists and Barber Association.
Yeah, it's Citywide Beauticians and Barbers Association. It's my honor to lead it at this point, but started back in 1942.
1942? You mean people were cutting their hair back in 1942? Does anyone know when the first? Oh, we already have some callers there, but we're coming. Does anybody even know when the first haircut was? Does anybody know?
No, we'll have to do some research.
I want to know. If somebody knows that, when was the first haircut? Would you please call into the show? Because I would love to know that. And that's, again, it's 832-570-8075. How many members are in your group?
Currently, we have a little over 100 members.
100 members. And they're all over the city?
All over the city. We are the local of a state organization. So there's Houston, Austin, Dallas.
No kidding.
Beaumont, yes.
And do y'all work on common interests of, I don't even know, but hold on that thought, because we already have some callers.
Okay.
Who do we have there? Do we have a caller there? We already have a Sheila Coleman. Is there a Sheila Coleman on the line? Sheila, are you on the line? How about a Warren Muhammad? Mr. Muhammad, are you there? Well, we lost you both. Call back again, and I know you're coming. Of course, no relation. I understand that. Well, let me ask you this. what does one have to do if they want to go into, is the right word beautician business? What's the right word?
We are cosmetologists.
Cosmetology. And what's the difference between cosmetology and beautician? Is there a
common name and a technical name?
Cosmetology. I mean, that just sounds like,
we sound like we ought to be getting paid really good money.
yeah, I know. Cosmetology. It almost sounds like, I don't know, you study the stars. What do you do? I'm a cosmetologist. I mean, the cosmos or something. So cosmetology. Do you have to go to cosmetology school?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes.
And so it'd be, how do you do you get a bunch of volunteers and let me practice on your head or let me practice on your face? I mean, how do you do that?
That happens.
Really?
Yes. At the cosmetology and barber schools.
Yeah.
People come in, pay a really low fee to let us practice. We got to learn on someone.
You got to learn on something real.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the culture of the barbershop.
Mm.
When you think of the culture of the barbershop, now, there's been 18 barbershop movies, right? Or something like the Barbershop 2, How I Wish I Were a Barber, Go to the Barbershop. Let me ask you, I mean, how true is it like a real happening place and a meeting place, the barbershop?
Definitely. People come in, we're the psychiatrist.
Are you the psychiatrist?
Heck yeah, they tell us everything.
Oh my God. But is it the old, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, what goes on in the barbershop stays in the barbershop? I see. Now see, if you look at me, of course, if you can't see me, I don't have a lot of hair, so I've been cutting my own hair.
I got some guys who can hook you up.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been cutting my own hair once every 10 years almost. I wish I had hair. But going back to the barbershop, no, really, it becomes some sort of like a community organizing event. Is that unique to the Black community?
No,
or is it just everything?
It's everywhere. The Latinos, especially the barbers, oh my God, if you go in there, you get the same vibe. It's family, it's community. They do the community service. When people need something in the community, they go to the barbershop. If they need someone to help and talk to their son who's going the wrong way, they go to the barbershop. We do a little bit of everything.
Oh my God, y'all are like, there used to be an old show on HBO called Taxi Driver Confessions or something like that. So it's like barbershop confessions where they come to you to confess.
We'll have to do that show.
You got to do that show. So we already have somebody on the line. Was there a Warren Muhammad?
This is he.
Is that Mr. Muhammad as in Acres Home Muhammad?
This is he, the same one.
Mr. Warren Muhammad, how are you?
I'm doing well, Gilbert. How are you?
I'm doing very good. You're with a tip from me, a tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. And we have Miss Earker Coleman. You have a question for me or for her? Or what you got?
Well, I just wanted to let you know about our event coming up in October.
Tell me.
The 32nd annual Gala Banquet fundraising banquet event will be October 7th at the world-class Acres Home Chamber Event Center, 6112 Wheatley, on the evening of October 7th. So I want to let you know and invite all your listeners and friends to come out and enjoy the evening with us.
So let's talk about that for a second. It's the 32nd one annual?
Yes. 32nd.
Wow. Holy cow. Now, I've been to your facilities there. They're wonderful. Where did that land, was the land donated to y'all or?
Yes, that land was donated.
Melanson.
By Mr. Melanson. Mr. Melanson, if you're out there in the universe, you are such a gentleman. I mean, of course, every time I see you, you scare me to death. But I mean, because I just, but the bottom line is you're amazing. How wonderful that you would donate that land. So let's go back for a second. That's a wonderful facility, 6112 Wheatley. And so it's at what time? You said October 2nd. At what time?
It's October 7th.
7. I'm sorry. 7 as in siete, as we say, but 7.
That's right.
So, and what time?
It's the reception will begin at 6 p.m. and the program will start at 7.
All right. Do you have any? Go ahead.
Going to have food catered. Going to have entertainment, fine dining, a wonderful program. We're going to give out community awards. We have a dynamic keynote speaker, the president of Texas Southern University.
Woo!
How
wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations for that. Well, let me ask you this. So what kind of entertainment you got going?
We're working on it.
Okay.
We got a couple of choices we've been narrowing down. But it's going to be.
Well, let me know if there's if it's open mic night, I might have to practice my me, or what do you practice? And we may have to put a barber chair out there or something like that, because, no, I think that's fantastic. 32nd years, the banquet, 6112 Wheatley. I hope all our listeners know about it and will swing by, buy a table, buy a ticket. Let's support our community. That's the number one thing. Did you have something else, Mr. Muhammad? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just want to add that a portion of the proceeds will go toward our scholarship fund. We have a scholarship fund in collaboration with Lone Star College, where we award scholarships to people who desire to go into the workforce training program and get their certificate in the trades.
Oh, how wonderful.
Important. So we actually fund a scholarship through a portion of our revenue. Wonderful.
Well, Mr. Muhammad, we thank you very much, and we hope you have a superb turnout. And please send me an invite myself for me.
I certainly will. And for the listening audience, you can just go to acreshomechamber.com. That's our website.
acreshomechamber.com. There you go. You heard it here first. Thank you, sir, for calling in. So let's go back.
Appreciate you, Gilbert.
Oh, you got it. Always. Let's go back. Because, one of the things that really struck me as I was talking to a while back, Mount Hebron, Pastor Max Miller, I was talking to Pastor Miller, and he was talking about all the work that the church does. And one of the things he said is when they find people, homeless and others, that they get them, they help them wash up, and they get them a barber haircut. And, when you think about that, you think about it as something so like, well, get your haircut. But for some people, it really is a self-esteem thing, right? You follow me?
I follow you.
Tell me, what do you think about that? I mean, isn't that incredible? Because think about people who something as simple as hygiene like that, they're not able to afford, or they're not able to do it, or they don't think about it, or they're intimidated, and all the above.
Well, your appearance means a lot, and a lot of us take it for granted. But if you are depressed, if you get your hair done or hair cut, it gives you a psychological and emotional boost. And even just the human touch, because we're one of the only professions other than a doctor that's allowed to touch you personally. So that personal touch that when I look at myself, it makes me feel better. And that gives some type of reaction into the brain, and you just feel a little bit better about yourself.
That's interesting. Yeah. And the cosmetology school part, do they talk a little bit about that?
Not as much as they should.
That's a great thing to talk about.
Yeah.
We call it in our business client service. But it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's client service. The client is the person getting their hair cut. Very, very interesting. So are barbers mainly men or women?
Well, the industry is transitioning. And what I've noticed in a lot of the barber schools are a lot of females. TDLR, who's our governing board, they just did a thing where, as a cosmetologist, I can do a crossover license for a few hours. So I can go to a barber school and then I get a dual license, so a cosmo and a barber license.
Oh, well, let's stop there for a second. So a barber license is separate from a cosmo license. A cosmo, is that like makeup?
Cosmo is primarily dealing with females doing hair. The thing is that our licenses are so similar. The only difference between a barber license and a cosmetology license is the fact that a barber can use a straight edge razor on the face, and as a cosmetologist, I can't. That's the only difference.
I see.
But they've been governed by two separate boards for forever. The way things are looking now, they're merging them.
Right.
So it'll be one.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So then what do you do if for I'm just, because I just don't know what I'm saying here.
Okay.
If you wanted to be sort of a nail salon person, is that a different license?
My cosmetology license and my barber license allows me to do everything.
Everything meaning
hair, nails, skin, the whole gambit. But if I only want to do a nail license, I can. If I only want to do if I want to do a specialty, such as nails or skincare, which is aesthetics, I can do that as well. But if you do the Cosmo or the barber, you can do anything that's beauty related.
I see. We have another caller already. Is there a Robin on the phone?
Hi, Gilbert. This is Robin Fulford, the Democratic Party nominee running for U.S. Congress in the 2nd Congressional District, challenging Dan Crenshaw.
Well, Robin, thank you for calling. How are you? How's the campaign trail going for you?
It's going pretty well. Well, last night, apparently, my campaign signs that all of my neighbors on my street, it's lined with my signs because they all support me, and they were vandalized last night.
Oh my goodness.
And I take that as a compliment. It means that
well, what do you mean, Robin? Hold on a second. So what do you mean vandalized? Were they like taken down? Were they like spray painted? I mean, what do you
spray painted?
Spray painted? And what did they spray paint on there? If you can say, if it's bad, don't say.
No, no, they were just trying to block the message.
Oh my goodness. You know something?
Yeah.
Holy cow. I don't know what's going on in this world. And, at the end of the day, let the people vote. Let them vote whoever they want to vote for. Please don't deface signs. My goodness. Because all we got to do is spend more money to buy them new signs. And, let's not do that.
And that is an expense. And so I am fundraising for that. But this really comes on the heels of the interview that Dan Crenshaw did yesterday with Jake Tapper on CNN, where he basically went on to defend Donald Trump and cast suspicion on the FBI and the Department of Justice. And it's incredibly dangerous for a sitting United States congressman to do that, because we know that his Democratic colleagues, my friend Eric Swalwell, their lives are in danger and being threatened. And we have FBI offices across the country being attacked or planned attacks. And so, they claim to be the party of law and order, but clearly that's not the case.
Well, I wonder, and we have Miss Earker Coleman, who's the head of the Barbers Cosmetology, you name it, she's head of it here in Houston.
Yes.
Let me ask him, Miss Coleman, have you noticed in your zone, is politics just getting meaner somehow? I mean, what is happening?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy that we can't voice our opinions without someone being offended in a way and then retaliate just because my opinion may be a little different from yours. It's crazy, but it's across the board and with everything. And
are your members ever feel, I don't know, I don't want to say threatened, but do they feel like, is there a new tension there in the barbershop and the chair?
There is. You're concerned with who's in the chair and who's in the room. If you're in an open concept, you don't know what to say.
Right.
You don't want to offend someone or spark something in someone else. So yeah, it's there. We are a little politically active in a way. We give out information. We register people to vote.
Oh, amen.
Wow.
But
that's great.
But if you guys look at it, we are a real good hub. Because if I'm a hairstylist, my influence is huge.
Right.
So we're a nonprofit, but we don't endorse, but we give out resources because we want our constituents to be informed voters.
Wonderful.
So we give out information. So it's different. The whole feel of politics is just different.
Wonderful. Well, let me give anything else about the campaign trail you want to highlight before we sign off?
That's all, but I wanna thank you both, because those spheres of influence are absolutely so important to get people to go out and vote, whatever their decision is. It's important to get people engaged, and the work that both of you are doing is so important. And I am block walking my district every single day, 5 hours a day.
Oh my.
Today in the Woodlands, and my website will have information if you want to join along. Those yard signs are expensive, and so I will make sure that there's a link available for donations to help cover that. We know that in areas like this in the Woodlands, and I've been a long time leader here and outspoken, that yard signs serve sort of as a rescue tool, or it shows other people that there are people, they might not be able to be out and loud in their own homes, but it sort of is a life preserver for people so that they know that there are other people that share your political beliefs.
Amen. Well, we wish you well on the trail, and keep on walking.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. So, Ms. Coleman, I think we got to buy her a new pair of sneakers. She's gonna need some more. She's gonna need some sneakers, right?
Comfortable ones.
I know, right? She's gonna need some sneakers. Let me go back to something, because we haven't talked about this. During COVID, what did that do to your business and all your members and barbershop? What happened during COVID?
we were out of business.
Were you?
Yes.
Completely down.
Completely.
None of this mask and gloves and this and that, just down.
Just down for at least 3 months at minimum. We were out of business. It was by law. We weren't supposed to.
By
open.
law.
By law, we weren't
Holy
supposed
cow.
to open because of our physical contact.
Oh my goodness. Is that when I saw everybody with messy hair and people's hair was, the color was out of the hair and the roots were all the wrong color? Is that when I saw that?
Yeah, that's when
No,
you saw
I'm
it.
playing.
No, they
really,
did.
the whole point is this. You're one of those businesses that was so impacted because
Definitely.
most of the people, your members, are all, I think, I'm just making this up, you tell me right or wrong,
Okay.
entrepreneurs.
Yes.
They own their business.
Yes.
They either have their own business within a place,
Right.
or they own the place.
Right.
And at the end of the day, being out of revenue for 3 months
It's devastating.
can be the difference between out of business or not. Were they getting assistance? Would they, a lot of them get the PPP or things like that for the government?
Some of us got PPP.
Okay.
You
Because
know,
you had to employ people to get the PPP.
we had to have employed people, and the rules were sometimes confusing,
Mm-hmm. No
especially if you were a micro. And I call the ones that are in the large room with a whole bunch of
Yep,
little
yep.
ones, the micros. It was a bit confusing on how they could actually apply because they were self-employed, so they didn't really have employees.
Right.
So you had to
Mhm.
walk that line.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk more about it. We already have another caller. You're popular. Let's go. Is there a Renee on the phone?
Hi, this is Renee.
Renee, how are you, Renee? You got me, Gilbert Garcia, Talk Inspiration and Prayer with Miss Earker Coleman.
Great. I
Talk
had a
to me.
question for Miss Coleman.
Talk to
Miss
me.
Coleman,
Mhm.
what sense of satisfaction do you receive from being in the cosmetology industry, knowing that you're changing the lives of many and helping with their self-confidence?
Woo!
Ooh.
There you go. That was a good one. What you got?
For me personally, I think it's what I'm supposed to be doing. My gift, I believe, is to just help and connect people. So being in this industry has allowed me to do that on a totally different level than I would have ever thought. I am not behind the chair, but I do have a salon, and my goal is to help younger people within the industry become successful. And when I get one of them to turn around and say, "Oh, hey, you helped me to do this," or "that happened," that's the ultimate satisfaction for me.
How
but it is a
wonderful.
really rewarding career.
Well, my cousin's wife. So I don't know how that relates to me. I need a diagram. Someone give me a diagram on there. I don't know what it is. And by the way, someone out there, please, if you know the first haircut, please call in. We got to know that answer. But no, I don't know the diagram. My cousin's wife is we used to call it beautician.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that's the same thing as a.
It's the same.
Yeah.
We graduated.
Yeah. Well, bottom line is she does very well. She's been doing it for a long time. And I would say, I don't know a better way to describe it. She's a high end
Mhm.
for sort of expensive work.
Right.
And she does very, very well. And she loves her job.
Yeah.
She loves her job.
And we
She
go-
has the same clients all the time.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. It's a family or a community after a bit. And just like any other industry, we go from high end to neighborhood shop. So we're that and everything in between. So you can't miss us.
Well, my wife goes to the same, again, cosmetologist, beautician, haircut person. Kibby, if you're out there, you probably say, who the heck is that? Calling my name. Well, my wife goes to Miss Kibby, and I think Miss Kibby knows more about me and my family
Probably.
than I do.
Probably.
And she goes, she goes like every month or every 3 weeks. I'm like, honey, is your hair really growing out? Well, I just got to go see Kibby.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I mean,
it's a
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. We have another caller here. Let's see who that caller was. There was something above that. Is there a Mr. Chris Daniels on the line?
Yes, Gilbert Garcia, Chris Daniels.
Chris Daniels.
Former Harris County District Clerk.
Very good. Well, Chris, welcome. You have me, a tip from Gilbert, Talk Inspiration and Prayer. And I've got really a community activist, Miss Earker Coleman. And so what do you got, Chris? By the way, Chris, you said Harris County District Clerk?
Yes, sir.
Tell me
I've
something.
served as district-
I think I'm a learned man. I don't even know if that's a word, learned. I just don't know. But someone told me learned.
Okay.
I think I'm a learned man. What does a district clerk do? Can you tell us what that is?
Absolutely. Most people get confused. What is a county clerk? What's a district clerk?
Okay, there you go.
District clerk's responsible for jury duty, court records, and managing the courts, and the bank account for the court, also known as the court registry. Whereas the county clerk, which is a wonderful lady right now named Tanisha Hudspeth, The county clerk is responsible for your birth certificates, your death certificates, your business records, your DBAs, your liquor license, and they handles most of the functions that you would be dealing with when you're trying to either live a life in Houston or have a business in Houston. But if you're having lawsuits, if you're getting divorced, if you have a criminal matter, if you have a juvenile matter, all those, including tax court, fall in the purview of the district clerk.
Interesting. And so you were which one again?
I was the district clerk of Harris County for 8 years. And only because of straight ticket voting did I get out of office. I was highly regarded amongst the lawyers and the judges and other clerks across the state as being one of the best district clerks the state has had in a long time.
What are you doing now?
I'm a lawyer. I handle probate cases, personal injury, and I'm a plaintiff's lawyer, and I also do consulting for MUD districts or special purpose districts.
Okay, let me
a
ask.
lot of these.
I got to ask another question. I can't help it. I'm a learned man and I'm lost. What is probate again? When people say, "Well, I'm a probate lawyer," you got to go to probate court. What is that? Is that when someone passes away? You got to figure it all out.
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, when many Houstonians die, they die without a will. Or if they have the foresight to have a will, they have multiple copies because they had more grandkids, or they got remarried, or these sticky situations occur that have to be sorted out with one of the 4 probate judges here in Harris County.
I see.
And so I try to prevent that by writing up wills, and I try to prevent that by helping them with their estate planning. But when it doesn't work out, then we litigate the matter before a probate judge so that we can get
not a jury, the judge to the judge.
To the judge.
I see. Okay, very good. Well, golly, I'm ready for my civics exam. We have lots of other callers. Let me just ask you. I'm going to give you the last word. So, what do you got now going, and what's going on in your future?
I'm back on the ballot for Harris County District Clerk, and I hope that my record stands for itself. Innovation, technology, saving taxpayer money, and keeping the courthouse moving so that we actually have trials and we're actually able to process what's going on at the courthouse so that justice is not being delayed for any Houstonian or Harris Countyan here in our area.
Very good. Well, thank you for calling in. Thank you for sharing that with Houston, and I hope you call in again.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, my friend. I know we have another caller. Before we come back to, I want to talk about that movie, The Barbershop. Before we do that, I know we have another caller. We got like 3 or 4 callers there. Holy cow, who would have thought? There you go. You would have thought. I would have thought. Let's see who that next caller is. We have a Deidre. Deidre, are you there?
Yes. Can I have your name, please?
Is there a Deidre? How about a Crystal?
Deidre? One moment.
We might be going back to Deidre. Stay with me. Deidre, are you there? Miss Deidre.
Hi, how are you?
I was about to say, you are the next contestant on The Price is Right. No, I'm just kidding. Deidre, you're the next caller in on Tip from Gilbert. Anyways, Deidre, what do you got? You got something for me, Gilbert Garcia, or Miss Coleman?
Miss Coleman, well, actually, I just need you guys to catch me up. I'm calling in support of Miss Coleman. I know that she's a phenomenal woman, and I just needed to call in to support her, and excited about what's going on today on the show.
Deidre, that is so nice of you. Are y'all neighbors?
She's one of the people I just talked about.
Deidre, talk to me. Deidre, talk to me. No, that's super nice of you. Are you in the business yourself, Deidre?
I am. I specialize in hair extensions, and I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have Ms. Coleman as a mentor.
How wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. So, I do apologize. I kind of got off work or whatever, and I have a lot going on, but I just wanted to call into the show and to show my support. I'm so excited about today.
Deidre, that's awesome. Before you go,
Deidre.
I want to give you a minute here, Deidre.
Yeah.
Talk to me about hair extensions. How does that work? I mean, now see, it can't work on me because I only have
Deidre,
like skin.
You can give him hair.
Well, Deidre, I need hair. I want hair.
That's the thing. So what I want to let you know that if you have a head, then
well, hold on. I want to let everybody know, despite what rumors might be out there, I do have a head. Okay, go ahead, Deidre.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
All I need is a head. Well,
Let me just give you a really quick
go.
insight on hair extensions. So I do also do hair male temporary hair restoration, and it's just a matter of using adhesive to bond that what we call a lace onto the scalp. All right, giving men back their confidence, just like women, are crowned sometime or compromised, whether it be from age, health, or what have you. And there are solutions out there as far as hair replacement. And so there's different installation options. There's different hair options. It just depends on the client's personal or individual need.
Very good. So it's not like what I see sometimes on at 2 a.m. on the TV commercial where some guy has a spray can and he like sprays his head. He's like, look at that hair. And I'm like,
I never understood that. But
yeah,
you know what?
That can't be hair.
Well, yeah, but I don't specialize in that.
Okay. You don't specialize in the spray hair. Thank goodness. I'm like, what is that?
Isn't that interesting?
Well, let me ask you, let's go back for something I really mean in all sincerity. So tell me about hair extensions. Is it like human hair that's made into the extensions, and do you weave the extension into the hair of your customer? Or how does it work?
So that's one option. So hair extensions, I don't know if you know the history of it, but it started way back in Egyptian times.
No kidding.
And so even here to modern day times, but that's the origin of hair extensions. And so today there are different options. You can infuse hair, which would be a keratin bond that you would use to bond that artificial or that extension onto your natural hair. Okay, so that's one method, and then there are so many different methods. So
you mean you put an actual hair? I don't think the word's follicle, but the hair piece of hair strand, and you kind of glue it onto another strand.
You're bonding it on. So
God, that sounds so tedious, right?
It is, but it's definitely worth it for the client, as well as the person providing the service. But definitely. Absolutely. It is time consuming, but it's definitely worth it after.
Deidre, I think you just answered the question. At least we now know hair stuff went back to the Egyptian times. So you got to assume if they were doing extensions, they had to have at least been doing cutting hair. So if anybody out there knows of anything before the Egyptian days, of course, nobody knows what year that was, but before the Egyptian pyramids times, please let us know. Deidre, that is wonderful. Thank you for calling in. You want to give a shout out? What's your website or where are you at? Just so people can go see you.
Well, so my industry, so my name is, I am known as Deirdre Monet with Chevaux Riches, which is French for rich hair. And my website is my name, www.deirdremonet.com.
Look at you, all French stuff and all that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Just call me Gilbert. I don't know if that's French, but just call me that. Call me that for today. Deidre, thank you for calling in. We're going to go to.
Thank you for having me.
Always. We got a Crystal on the line. Crystal, are you there? Crystal, Miss Crystal, are you there? Or Mr. Crystal? Okay, we missed you there. Who's the next one there? No, Crystal, are you there?
I am here.
Crystal, how are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm great. You have me a tip from Gilbert, Talk Inspiration and Prayer, and we're talking about cosmetology and all the origins of it and what it means to be an entrepreneur, to be a hairstylist and all the things that go with it. So what you got for me or for Miss Coleman?
Well, I'm a part of the citywide beauticians. I am a hair replacement specialist and a scalp micropigmentation specialist. So I'm calling in to support. It's a good organization to be with, but it's a lot of facets of hair.
I don't know what you just said other than I need to go see you. I mean, so you're a hair restoration specialist?
I am.
So what does that mean? We heard a little bit about it. What's the old, I mean, are people actually this, I think I'm a learned man, but I'm finding out I'm not. And someone's going to tell me learn. It's not even a word, young man. I used to be young man. Do you actually like get hairs from somewhere and implant them into follicles in the scalp?
So what you're talking about is a transplant.
I see.
What I do is non-surgical, so it's non-invasive. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't do anything. All it do is give you the look you want to see when you look in the mirror.
How wonderful. Well, how long have you been doing that?
About 25 years.
Oh my. Have you seen changes in the technology or changes in people's habits, or generally it's the same? People said, you know what? I just want confidence back and I want to see some hair on that head.
For one thing, a lot of things have changed because a lot of people like to get the look that they see stars have.
Yes.
They put adhesive across a perfectly good hairline, and the adhesive pulls the hairline out, but that's not stuff you told that got to be glued, spray, and all those different things. That still takes the hair out. So 95% of my clients don't use adhesive at all.
Interesting.
Whether they have hair or not. You know.
Well, let me ask you this. Are most of your clients men, or is there hair loss a lot in women and they want more hair? And maybe it's not from hair loss.
Children.
You have a lot of what? I'm sorry?
I have a lot of children and
Interesting.
women, also men.
Crystal, would you tell them about what who your main clientele is?
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it, Crystal.
Okay, so my main clientele is people that deal with hair loss. Most people think it has to deal with vanity, but it actually has to deal with mental health and emotional stability. But when I get a child that comes in and they are withdrawn, they can't even look me in the eyes, which is a lot of things that even the women and men do. They can't look me in my eyes. They're very embarrassed and feel ashamed. But I make wigs for children because they're bullied, they're teased, they have wigs snatched off and things like that. And my thing is just to give them the vision that they want to see when they look in the mirror. So my gift and my vision and everything is just to give people restoration.
You know, Crystal,
give them hair restoration.
you're just like, you're just touching my heart there. I can't even imagine the meanness of, I mean, listen, I guess when I grew up, there was meanness and we just didn't realize it was meanness.
Right.
But when you have a child, and, I'm going to say something, this may not be what you refer to, but let's say someone was a cancer survivor or something, and then they have no hair, and then they want to have a wig. And for somebody to go, I don't know, deface them, pull the wig out, whatever the word is, pull the wig off and laugh. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Parents,
Right.
please, let's teach our kids. There's an old song by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, teach our children well. We got to teach our children well, because that's where it begins.
Yeah.
That's a really, really touching story that I didn't realize would come out today. And Crystal, I'm going to give you, the last word, but I so appreciate you sharing that.
Okay, well, I do want to say that I deal with people that have hair loss, whether it's cancer, alopecia, lupus, burns, just any unnatural form of hair loss. But as far as bullying and the parents teaching their children not to bully, the only time they feel it is when it's happening to them.
Yep.
But if you think about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he was bullied.
Yep.
I mean, think about it, that story. They didn't want him to join in any reindeer games. So bullying has been around and it's been shown. So, I mean, it's about educating, but,
shame on his father that the solution was cover up your nose instead of learn to love yourself. And if people don't love you the way you are, then you don't need them. Very interesting. We look at cartoons today and we look back in time, and there are different times and a lot of things that we sort of did back then. We realized it wasn't the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, Crystal, thank you very much for calling in. You were really
Thanks,
a gem.
Crystal.
Thank you for all that you do for these young people in particular who are so fragile in their self-esteem and in their spirit. So thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, you're welcome. But can I just say one more thing?
You
And I
may.
promise I'm gonna stop. Okay, because I have a nonprofit organization that does it at little or no charge to those that can't afford to get their hair done that have hair loss. And it's called hairdreamsbycrystal.org is the website. It shows before and afters. We can only do it as long as we have funding. So, I mean, but if you know anyone that has hair loss, they can go on there, fill out an application, myself and the board of directors. We choose the recipient. They get their hair done free of charge in a private setting.
You know what? Do me a favor. I have a an email address for the show. It's called
Wait a minute. I got to get the right.
Yeah.
Type in. Hold on.
Tell me when you're ready.
Okay. Well, I have big fingers and I'm sure trying.
That means you got a big pencil and just get remember the big chief tablet. There you go.
Okay, so
we're going crazy on the show today. It's a tip from Gilbert. The letter A, TIP from Gilbert, a tip from Gilbert, the name of the show, at gmail.com. Would you send me that information? Because I'd like to mention it again, like the next 2 episodes, just to say to people that you remember that thing. I'd like to just do that if you don't mind.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's
Because
wonderful.
That's a lot.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
Crystal.
at gmail.com.
Crystal
All right, thank you.
at gmail.com. Thank you, Crystal.
Okay, thank you so much.
Going back to things that you did back then, but you can't do now. It's kind of like, as a Latino, we look back and, you look at the Alamo, the movie, The Alamo, John Wayne, they're like no Latinos there, right? Or if there's a Latino like in Scarface, it's, Al Pacino, he's Italian, and we can't find a Cuban to play a Cuban.
No,
I mean,
not
come
at all.
on. At the end of the day, and you see a lot of the old movies where, non-blacks would have black on their face to play a black person.
Exactly.
It's like, it's
Were we not there? or
it's
what?
absurd. It's like, what were they thinking? I guess society changes, but somehow you kind of think, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
Let's go back. We have another caller already. We have a Brian. Brian, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Talk to me, Brian. You have me, a tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. And I have Miss Earker. I got to keep saying that slowly. Earker.
There you go.
Earker Coleman. And that means great goddess. And was it Greek? Is it Greek,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Awesome goddess. And I think the Greeks called it either that or it was that guy on the TV show with the
The toga thing on.
no, the oh no, that's Urkel. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. That's just playing. I'm just playing. Look at Michael Yarber over here is with us in the studio audience. He's like saying, boy, Gilbert, you're on the edge. You're on the edge. I can't help it today, but you're a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you, Brian, but we can't forget you. What do you got for us?
Quick question. I want to ask Ms. Coleman, how has inflation affected your industry? I remember when I first got a haircut, it was $10.
And how much
Now
is it
I'm going to a barber. It's 20, 25, but that's because I'm going to a longtime friend of mine.
Okay. I was about to say, that's a cheap haircut today.
Because what would it, Brian, if it weren't your friend, what would it be cost today, you think?
It would be maybe $40.
No way.
Yeah, but you haven't been to a barbershop.
I haven't. I mean, look. No, I haven't.
All right, I'm going to hang up and listen. But,
Brian, thank you very much for calling.
Okay, Brian.
No, that's a good point.
It is.
That's a good point
But
because
people don't think about if your water or gas or whatever went up for you, it
Yeah.
went up for us too.
that's right. And your rent
and our rent,
and your
goes up.
electricity,
everything that went up for you goes up
the
for us.
products that go into all this work,
And they
of
don't
course.
realize that even some of the things that we use are based on petroleum. So when the cost of that goes
I did not
up,
think about
our
that.
products go up because we got to use the plastic bottle and all of those things. It trickles down and affects us just as well as it does any other
Very
industry.
interesting. And then, of course, wages have gone up. I was with some SEIU folks,
Which is
and those are the custodians,
okay.
service employees. I forgot the exact name,
Okay,
SEIU. And I went with them, and they were trying to get higher wages, and they were trying to get $15 an hour. And I went with a lot of them. Most of them, barely speak English, those sorts of things. And I went with them to go to a building, and the building wouldn't let us in. We were trying to deliver them something with signatures. They wouldn't even let us in. It was after hours. They wouldn't even let us in. And I was with these ladies, and we were praying together that the Lord would soften their hearts.
Okay.
And it was interesting because one of the ladies has been a custodian for 30 years. She started at $2 an hour, and in 30 years, she got to $10 an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself,
How does she
that's
do it?
terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Well, we know how she does it. They probably got like 30 people in one house, and they got like four. No, really.
Yeah, no,
and
you
she's a
have to.
Latina. We're Latinos, and that's what we, because,
You live
you
in
want to work
family
hard.
home.
You got to be together.
Yeah.
And, but they got it passed, and I think they're on their way to $15 an hour. But still, $15 an hour.
It's not livable wage.
It's
at
not a
this
livable
point.
wage. Ms. Coleman, no, really. So I think it's wonderful that the consumer recognizes the value of the people and are willing to pay more money for the same service, or the service is probably even better because, it's just better.
Yeah,
Like
it
everything's
is.
better. I think it's wonderful that they recognize that.
Yeah.
And so
Average
touche.
barber- Yeah. Average barber cut, I would say, was about $40 right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And are most barbers their own independent?
Most of us are independent.
Business owner?
Independent contractors. Yeah. Or
No, but-
micro business owners.
But you have a salon.
I have.
Tell us everything you got. You got a lot of things. I want to give you, Miss Earker, I want to give you everything. And please know I was just playing with you.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
good.
You
I'm
can call
good.
me. You can call me anything you want to call me. It's just don't call me late for dinner. But go ahead. No, really.
No, I'm good.
Tell me.
I do have a salon, but it's inside of a larger salon.
Okay. Where is it? I want people to know where you're at.
We're on Timmons.
Timmons, I know
in Richmond.
Timmons.
You know Timmons. So the street that runs alongside of Lakewood Church.
Yes.
That's Timmons. You cross over Richmond.
There's Timmons and Cummins. They're kind of like right there.
Right there,
Yeah.
so-
And the school district is there. Or used to be there. The big
Yes,
HISD.
I'm in the building where the HISD used to be. So
Okay.
we're on the back side of
I
it.
see.
And I have what we call the glam room. And we do makeup and express blowouts and services of that thing.
How many
So
people are? I mean, is it just you by yourself? You got one or two people with you?
I don't do hair, and I am
Yeah,
licensed.
that's okay. No.
But I am licensed. In the glam room, which is a department of K Renee Salon, there are 25 of us.
What?
In the building, we have over 6,000 square feet.
Wow.
Karen Gilmore is the owner, and I have my niche. We partner, and I have a makeup room, and then, like I said, the express blow dry bars is the kind of thing.
How wonderful.
So we do that in there.
How great. Are y'all busy?
It's getting better.
Yeah.
We
Because
had-
I mean, people had to realize COVID's over. I got to go back to my routine.
I think we're kind of slipping back into it. People are coming back in with their mask on. I think
Really?
I think the monkeypox kind of
Mm-hmm.
is giving people a scare. So yeah.
God, I hope we get through it. I hope you get through it. I want you to get through it. For everyone out there, you got to go see this lady. She's wonderful. And, you know, I could just imagine the beauty of you as a person inside projects to the people that are doing work there with you. And they got to be like wonderful people, right?
I think
No-
we have a great team.
Yeah, no wonder you're the head of the group. You're a great spokesperson.
We have a great
Well, that is wonderful. How long have you been in the business?
Probably about 40 years.
What do you mean? Aren't you only 39?
I started when
Wait.
I was 2.
Yeah. Come on. You've been doing it for 40 years?
I've had my license for years.
Oh, I can't believe it. Come
Yeah.
on. 40 years?
Yeah, God does great work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, studio audience, come on. What are you talking about there? 40 years. And, you know, and you still, what's interesting after 40 years, you still have I don't know the right word, love for it, or a
Yeah.
joy of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Versus some people like, you know, oh, I've been doing it 40. I've been doing it 40 years. No, but you still have this joy and you're head of the group and you're trying to do things better. That's amazing. What got you into it?
Long story short, my dad said everyone should go to college. So I was attending U of H my second year, and I didn't want to sign up again.
Yep.
So I was riding around the neighborhood, saw Franklin Beauty School, turned in, enrolled, told my dad about 6 months later, so he couldn't say anything because I was too far.
Yep. You know what? How amazing. But look, you know, you're a good example that, and I believe in college and everything, but I also recognize college is not for everyone. It's not.
It's not.
And the whole point is there are many great trades like cosmetology,
Exactly.
like welding,
Mhm.
like air conditioning,
repair.
elevator,
Yeah. HVAC.
electrical workers,
Yeah.
plumbers, and they make
Aviation.
that's
Make
exactly
really good.
yes,
livings.
and they have insurance benefits. A lot of these things are great. So you know, parents, just remember,
Listen.
yes, and every kid is different.
Yeah.
And you may want them to be like you, but let them be them.
Yeah.
You know, give them your knowledge and experience and learn from you, but let them be them.
Yeah.
So let's say we got like all these other people. Tony Garcia, are you there, Tony?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. I'm excited.
Is this the Tony?
This is the Tony.
Tony,
Tocayo Garcia.
Tony, what do you got, man? And you know, we're here with Miss Coleman, who runs the cosmetology group and all the professionals in that business. But I know you do a lot for the firefighters. What's going on, and when's your next deal with the firefighters?
Well, first, I'd like to just thank Miss Coleman for all that she does.
Isn't it
My
great?
daughter just loves all that is cosmetology, and she's definitely going to be reaching out to you.
Oh, great! What's your daughter's name? What's your daughter's name?
Micaela Garcia.
Micaela, you got to call. There you go. And learn. You got a mentor waiting to happen. Go ahead, Tony. What you got?
So, as you know, Gilbert, we have a family-run development and construction company that's located in the East End. And a little over a year and a half ago, we started getting more involved in the community in light of COVID. Some of the things we started putting on was meal giveaways, teen packs for at-risk youth, blankets for seniors, and ultimately last year we started what is called Loteria en Fuego. What is Loteria en Fuego? It is a fundraiser that is like a Mexican-based bingo to raise funds for our local firemen for their stations. And this Wednesday we'll have our 5th one, at El Jardín restaurant down on Harrisburg, and all the proceeds will benefit Fire Station 22, which is right there next door to them on Harrisburg as well.
And what do they use with the proceeds? What's going on with that?
So most people ask, like, what does the fire station need, and why does there have to be a fundraiser? And, you know, granted, the fire station, they're never one to ask. You know, by nature, they're first responders, and their whole mission and goal in life is to serve us whenever we're at risk. What we've done is by a station, we say, hey, what are some of the embellishments you would like for your station to make it more comfortable? For example, I don't think most people realize this, but each firewoman per shift has to pitch in for a pool to cover things like filtered water, coffee, Wi-Fi, and internet for the station while they're there, their own pots and pans.
Come on, but they live there, and they have to pay for their own pots and pans.
Yeah. So it's basically their home away from home,
right?
Because each shift they're there 24 hours, and you know, even from sofas and chairs and dining tables and television. So
wow.
We reach out to them and say, you know, and they're not asking, you know, they make do with what they have. And we say, hey guys, like, what can we do to make your life better? Because every day that you answer a call, you're risking your life for all of us. So how can we show that we appreciate you? And that's what this fundraiser event's about. We typically raise $3,500 to $4,500 with great sponsorships like yourself. You know, Gilbert, I want to say I really appreciate that you've helped our efforts more than 2 or 3 occasions, from toy drives to the fundraiser for Loterias, and we thank you for that.
Well, sign me up for Wednesday. I'm in, but thank you for saying it.
So this Wednesday from 6 to 9, we're going to have a family-friendly event. It's $75 per person, all of which the proceeds will go to benefit Station 22. And we will, at the end of all this fun event, we'll tally up the numbers, what we raise, and we do a public announcement. We issue a large check, usually within a month. And then we go to the station and say, hey, okay, we've raised $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. What are the most essential things you need? And I'm being told that this station is just asking for a dining table.
Golly.
You know, just a place where they can eat. And this is the one of the most critical, if not the most critical stations in Houston. It's the hazardous materials station. Mm-hmm. They serve Harris County wide. So let's come on out and show our support and let our first responders know that they matter to us, that we can be there to respond for them.
And let's get them a table, for crying out loud, so they can have brotherhood and fellowship, because that's how it is. I can only imagine, I've never been a firefighter, but I can only imagine that the brotherhood, you need to rely on your fellow firefighter. So you have to build that's exactly right. That rapport, because their lives are, and what better way than to be together, eat together, all those things. Well, count me in. I'll buy 10 positions, and then we'll figure out who the heck's going to play.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the goodwill that you're spreading, and may God continue to bless and have favor on you and your entire firm and your family.
Tony, thank you. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you for sharing with Houston. So, Ms. Coleman, thank you very much, Tony. So let's go back, because these are probably the last things. We may not take another caller. I apologize. We're going to try. Let's go to the movie The Barbershop. Okay. Have you seen the movie yet?
Several times.
I know, right? That's like I got to see the movie Wall Street like 10 times. Right. I know every word, I know everything, but there I am. You know, I got to see it. You've probably seen Barbershop like 10 times
at least.
And you know, is it that much sort of fun and engaging and all the hoopla and everything? I mean, it seems amazing.
It is,
right?
It's a great place to look.
And I'm going to ask the question that nobody wants to ask, but I can't help but ask. But there's something about, you know, every time you see. Black people are so creative with their hair.
Yes, we are.
Right? I mean, there's like all kinds of messages in the hair, and I just one hair, Michael. But they have messages, and I mean, what's the origin of that? It's so amazing. Some of these hairstylists have to be artists.
I can give you a little bit of.
I want to know.
So in slavery time, we did patterns in braids in the hair so that the master would know where we were going.
No kidding.
Yes.
God, isn't it amazing how we take it for granted, but slavery had so much reaction. Like you take it for granted when people say they're looking at your home and say, "Where's the master bedroom?" It's like, wait a minute. When you think about that word,
yeah,
it's like, why can't you just say The main bedroom. But there we are.
The master.
Yeah, because the master must have had the big room. You know, shame on all of that. At the end of the day, very interesting.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like so many hairstyles, when you see people walking around, they're really almost like artists.
They are.
I mean, this isn't just like cutting your hair. Oh, it's too long.
Okay. Okay. I have a hair show, Beauty Under One Roof.
You do?
Yeah. And I just had a barber battle, and a part of it is called artistic design. My main people who attended and participate now are Latinos.
Wow.
Because they are so artistic.
Wow.
To a degree that, I mean, it's just amazing what they can do with a head.
Yeah.
And some clippers.
Well, you took my idea, because, you know, there's Project Runway, and then there's the Build a House thing. And my daughter, I don't know why she's fixated on the tattoo people with the tattoos. She's fixated on that show.
I'm meeting Van Johnson.
Oh,
today.
you really?
Tell her, yeah.
Oh my God! Wait till my daughter's gonna be like, get me an autograph. And then she loves the one with glow, where they do the whole makeup thing. I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna create a show on hair cutting. But you already beat me to it.
We're already doing it.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Well, I think we ran out of time. Wait, we have one more caller. We're gonna go quick. Go ahead, and producer, put the song softly. Oh, did we lose it? Michelle, are you there? Michelle. Okay, let's start our song. And Ms. Coleman, I got to say, you have been the funnest. I mean it. But are you ready for this? It's hard to believe this. It's already been an hour.
I look, yeah.
The show's over.
It's gone.
It's like, what happened? You probably came here thinking, well, golly, what are we going to say for an hour? I don't even know this guy. We're going to talk for an hour. And Michael Yarbrough was saying, well, I'll just come in and be part of the show. But, you know, no, really, it's already over.
All right, great. It was great.
Wasn't it great?
Thank you. Yes.
And I learned a lot. And I think the concept of the creativity is beautiful. The concept of what it means as a place for fellowship and just get together and organizing is wonderful. The whole thing about entrepreneurs is wonderful. The whole thing about, if college is not for you, an avenue.
Right.
But what really struck me was that self-esteem.
Yeah.
That really hit me. I hope she does send me the thing on the
I'll follow up with
because think about these young kids, and she really went deeper about burn victims, other diseases and things. It's not just cancer.
Kids, no.
For these children to feel good and not stick out.
Right.
I sure hope you come again. And as we hear the rest of this song, which is just an amazing song called Alive Again, it's a Christian rock song. It's gotten many Dove Awards, which is the Christian award for like Grammy music, but it's called the Dove Awards.
Right.
I want to give you the last word. And after we come off on the radio, we'll have a few minutes still on social media. I want to give you the last word to say whatever you want to say to Houston.
Treat hairstylists with a little respect.
Amen.
Within our industry. We are a lot of times thought of as a lesser trade or profession, but most of us put a lot into it, and we put kids through college and bought homes and done everything everyone else has done. So just giving us a little bit more of a respect as an industry would be my my plight to the general public.
Amen. You know what? I want to start saying R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Tell me what it means. Remember that? R-E-C-T. No, really, listen. Respect. First of all, we should give everybody respect, but especially people who are serving us. Whether, serving means working for us.
Right.
Whether it's our hairstylists, our cosmetologists, whether it's our doctor, the people cleaning the building, whether it's your waiter or waitress at a restaurant, we should treat them all with respect because we're all God's children. We all trying to make a living, and they're doing it for you.
Yes.
And not only treat them with respect, I'm going to say it because I know you don't want to. Give them a big tip. Come on, give them a tip because listen. When you think about the haircut and all the inflation, that struck me. That other question, I forgot who it was, Brian, maybe. Prices, prices are higher. And so please, we need this service. And if we don't support them, it's going to be harder to find them because they're going to move into other things. Let's finish with this song. We got about 1 minute, Houston. You're with Gilbert Garcia, and we'll see you next time. You are my breakthrough. I praise you. I praise you. Now, this is a live recording of this. Can you imagine? I'm
That energy,
I'm
right?
feeling it. I'm just feeling it. This is the moment. Everything changes. You are my breakthrough. I praise you. I praise you. You are good. God is
Yes,
good.
he is.
Every day, all the
All
time.
time.
All the time. Woo! What a show.
Yeah.
We're still on social media. Thank you to the audience. What a show. So we're now going to close with social media. So you're welcome to look into the camera because now we're going to be looking at them. And let me just say, Houston, this has been a fun show for me. And I didn't know what my expectation was because when I have guests, my show is meant to be a show for the people. You know, there's nothing but negativity all the time in the media. We turn on the media and there's something negative. There's another shooting. There's another something. It's just, and the media needs to start reporting some good things. There are good things. There are good people doing things in the world, whether they're just working hard, whether they're helping others. There's a lot of good in the world. We just got to get that word out. That's what made me start the show a little over a year ago. And I like to talk about the spiritual element. I've had guests on that have been cancer survivors where they were actually told, you're not going to make it. And now they've been alive 15, 20 years. I've had people who, frankly, they were told that they had flatlined on the table. And then now they're alive. And, you know, I've had sex trafficking survivors. I mean, I've had lots of things inspiring. And this was inspiring to me because something that you think about every day, sort of the barbershop, the cosmopolitan person,
we'll take the cosmopolitan too.
Just the cosmos.
The cosmos,
the
yes.
cosmos. But when you think of hairstyle, like my cousin's wife, you take it for granted. But at the end of the day, they're so important in our everyday lives. And these people have so much to share. And they really are like a resident therapist.
Yes.
And they're not even charging you for the therapy as they should, but they're not. And I really admire you for sort of being the head of this group, knowing the history. It goes back a long time. And I love the fact that you have your own business with lots of folks that are like you, serving the community there on Timmons Street. And so I just want to give you some of the last words here and promote your group as you should, promote your place as you should. So people can see you and congratulate you.
Okay. So the group is Citywide Beauticians and Barbers Association, started back in 1942 when we were not, people of color were not allowed to do services on Caucasians or whoever. So that's why it started. So actually being politically active. So we still carry that on today. We go to Austin and fight for our rights and that kind of thing. We also do a lot of community service work. We just finished up quite a few back to school events and that type thing. Our voter registration things start at my show, which is September 25th at the Marriott West Chase. It's Beauty Under One Roof. You do that, beautyunderoneroof.com. We do the barber battles where we do the designs.
I can't wait to see. I want to see it. I want to promote it for you.
Thank you. A fantasy competition. And then we also do business related things. I have 25 credit, which are two young African-American ladies who help you build your business and your personal credit so that your business becomes a bit more solid in what it does. So that type thing. So we mix that in with some fun and just have a good time.
How wonderful. Day. Now, let me ask you this. Is your dad with us still?
No.
Well, you know what? I think he's in heaven looking at his daughter and he's saying, my Earker, boy, did she just make me proud. You know, back from the day when, he's like, what do you mean you're not going to University of Houston?
Exactly.
What do you mean you want to be a what? You know what? I just know he's up there and he's smiling saying, that's my girl.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I just know it. Yeah. I feel it in my spirit. Well, we thank you for being on the show. And we wish you nothing but success. Let's not let this monkeypox stop us. Let's not let it stop us in everything that we do.
Right.
Because we will prevail.
Yes.
And remember, like the song said, I'm alive again because God is good. The lyric is, you are good, you are good. So everybody out there in Houston and to all my partner stations, I'll just read them one more time. We have KWWJ, Keep Walking with Jesus, 1360 AM, 96.9 FM. KYOK, the legendary 1140 AM. KCOH, the source, 1230 AM. Aliento Radio, 1540 AM, 101.7 FM. Sangeet Radio, 95.1 FM, 1460 AM. And again, you can call us every time you want during this hour, every Monday, 11 to 12, 832-570-8075. And don't ask me to say that 5 times fast because I won't be able to. But you're on the show. We thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia. Listen to my radio show, A Tip from Gilbert. Talk, inspiration, and prayer every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on Houston's gospel leader, KWWJ. 1360 AM and streaming live on KWWJ.org. Listen on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. KCOH 1230 AM, The Source. On Sangeet Radio 95.1 FM 1460 AM. And Aliento Radio 101.7 FM and 1540 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.